I was born on Erie Street in Windsor, 1043 Erie, right in front of St. Angela Church. So it was an exciting 5 or 6 years for me. And that was the first part of my life. Then we moved to 1157 Parkview Street, which is in Riverside area, which was a great neighborhood. I lived most of my life there. And I went to St. Rose grade school. And basically I was there till about grade 6. From there I went to St. Louis. And then I went on to Brennan High School. My father worked at Chrysler Corporation, retired from Chrysler's. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she was probably the hardest working out of everybody in the household, doing the most, picking up after 5 children. But I spent a lot of time with my brother Phil and my sister Teresa, who we grew up with. You know, when I was in high school, you know, my thoughts really were with reference to getting into law. Getting into law and security, and the reason why I wanted to do that is I wanted to get into policing, I wanted to get into customs. When I went to St. Clair College, I felt like I was part of a family. I felt like the people in our classroom were connected. I ran for the Student Representative Council. Kristen Knighton was in law and security and ran as the president, and I ran as her running mate as the vice president, and we took both positions. The professors were great. They really had a lot of knowledge and insight. And again, those were individuals that really gave you the opportunity to express yourself, talk through some of the concerns or things that you were going through with regards to class inside or outside. And again, they had life experiences that they could provide. Graduation day was pretty exciting to me. And I'll tell you, I was the first from my siblings, all 5 of them, to graduate and get a diploma. Needless to say, I never became a police officer or a customs officer. I never really got the opportunity to be hired. I applied and I worked hard to try and get applications as resumes in. I actually did a number of interviews in London region, but unfortunately I didn't get hired, and I guess it wasn't meant to be. I went to not being able to find a job over the course of about a 9-month to 1-year period to all of a sudden having 2 or 3 opportunities, one namely being Chrysler's and one working at the City of Windsor through CUPE as a provincial offences officer. Give me a lot of experience, a lot of opportunity. I got to meet different people in different fields of work. And from that, eventually, like I said, I was laid off from being a provincial offences officer. And my course from there forward was inevitable to be a Chrysler employee. I started to get involved with the union because I'm the kind of person that likes to be involved. So shortly thereafter, I was an alternate representative, at which point I ran in an election against an individual that had about 16 or 17 years at the time. And I won my election. And from there, I just kept my head down, making sure that I could make differences for those people on the floor that I was representing. I became a committee person, which represented about 1,500 employees after being a steward for about 6 years. And I did that for about 3 more years. We had some discussions with regards to potentially running as chair of the plant. And at that point, David Leroux, myself, talked with the committee, and I was asked to come to the local as a vice president, of which I was here for about 6 years before running for the presidency in 2013. Coming into 1985, we separated from the UAW, becoming CAW, and basically in 2013, we became Unifor, and from that, Local 444 has a rich history in Windsor, Ontario. The amount of things that have really come out of this environment with regards to fighting for people's rights, political action, social justice is just unsurmountable. The amount of money that's generated through Local 444 in the community to help community partners, community groups, the United Way, Unemployed Help Center, Drouillard Place is just amazing. Different food banks that we participate in. So Unifor 444 represents a number of organizations in the community of Windsor and Essex County. And I have the pleasure of being the proud president of that local. Unifor Local 444 is involved with a lot of different organizations and community partners, of which we are a community partner because we help each other to really be successful and move forward. And we help out with a number of organizations, starting off with United Way. Just out of the Windsor Assembly Plant, we raise about $1.1 million a year towards their overall $5 million campaign. And when you look at the rest of our facilities, We probably put in a total of about $1.5, $1.6 million just into that campaign. We probably last year get into close to $400,000 that we put into the community, helping organizations really help themselves and really make that connection that's necessary, not only from our members, but a broader stroke of what's necessary to keep this community the way it is and help those that really need it. Some of the people that have really been beside me, first and foremost, is my wife. Deborah has been just an amazing individual. She's really spent a lot of time with our beautiful daughter, Brooklyn. Brooklyn is 6 years old right now. And really, I've missed a lot of firsts with my daughter to be able to do the work that I do with the amount of traveling that I do. And Deborah and Brooklyn have just been great. I'd also like to extend that a little bit to my parents. I say a little bit, but the reality is they've been a strong component to this. At St. Clair College, you get the necessary skills. The professors and teachers believe in what they're doing. You get to touch them, talk to them. They give you life experiences. And you're in a setting that's conducive to building your background, building your courage. It encourages you to be able to speak out on the concerns that are important. And I think St. Clair College is just an excellent facility to be part of. And again, for people to participate in and get that experience.